Hello folks, Everchanger here and welcome back to more Pokemon Blaze Black 2. Last time we had an electrifying match in the Nimbasa City Gym and we claimed ourselves the... What button is it? Do you have to use touchscreen for this? Oh well, I was going to do an amazing reveal for our super duper shiny Bolt badge, but I guess we're just not going to have that today. But rest assured we do have it. Now, can I avoid this little story cutscene for now? I can, okay. We're just going to conveniently ignore that obvious elephant in the room. We're going to come here into the big stadium because there is some unfinished business that I have. Namely, this girl right here. This is Flannery. Oh wow, Nimbasa City is so large, it's like a constant eruption. Speaking of which, you look like a Pokémon trainer. If I'm correct, how about we exchange some super hot moves? Absolutely. Yeah, I love Pokemon, and more importantly, I love to battle. This is Flannery, the 4th Hoenn Gym Leader. She is the gym leader of Lavaridge Town, and as you can probably expect, she trains fire types. Now, you're probably worried, why am I sending out Lucario against her Pokemon? Well, my Lucario is probably faster and it knows Bulldoze, so goodbye. Look at that. Absolutely beautiful. If I need to do any more training for the 5th gym of the game, this is probably where I'm going to go to do it. Fun fact, I believe this is the first Hoenn Gym Leader since Roxanne that we actually fought the episode after we did the Gym Leader fight, which is pretty interesting. We've had some interludes in between the 2nd and 3rd sets of gym leaders, so it's really nice to just flow right into another super heated match, although I believe her Pokemon are actually a level lower than Elisa's, so I'm really not expecting to have too much trouble against this girl, and I'd really hope I don't, because I am more than likely going to be using her for training for the next section of the game if I need to. Luckily, it looks like she is not putting up much of a challenge at all, which might be a little bit anticlimactic for you, the viewers, but for me, it's going to make my life a lot easier if training against her becomes necessary. Because in that situation, I'd like to bring her down as quickly and cleanly as I possibly can. Alright, so Camera Up launches Overheat and it actually misses. Honestly, that was probably a very lucky break on our part, because an overheat coming from a Camerupt is incredibly devastating. Anyway, let's try and see if we can bring down Camerupt this time. Hopefully it won't be able to get off an overheat on us, because that is a very dangerous move. And down it goes. Get lots of experience for that. Are we going to make level 48 in this fight? We might. I don't know. I don't know how much Torkoal actually yields in terms of experience, so we're just gonna have to see. Wow, Torkoal took that hit like a champ, and also it knows Yawn, which could be a little problematic. I'm gonna try Bulldoze again and bank on us actually managing to knock it out, but if not, we might have to change our strategy. Yeah. Lucario is officially asleep, which is a little unfortunate. Luckily, this Torkoal is expecting to attack a Lucario next turn, so I think just for kicks, we're going to send out Mandibuzz to finish things off. This thing is a hilarious cry. Yeah, we're going to get hit with Overheat here, but I don't expect it to do as much. Yeah. Mandibuzz took quite a decent amount of damage from that, but not as bad as it could have been. Plus, it's more than likely faster, so let's try Feint Attack. Bam! Mandibuzz's first match ends in victory. And Lucario, of course, gets level 48. And we defeated Flannery. That was a lot of money we got for winning, wow. Losing a battle won't deflate me, but I have to admit, you're one tough trainer. Yes, indeed I am, good ma'am. I really like Flannery, she's cool. They try and play her up as a new gym leader, as in she hasn't held the position for that long in the games where she appears. I think it's pretty cool trying to build the world a little bit rather than the gym leaders just sort of being obstacles for you to overcome. They're like actual people in the world, which I think is really cool. I feel like Black and White especially really drove that point home, which is why X and Y were so disappointing in that regard, because I believe only one gym leader in that game played pretty much any role at all outside of the gym fight itself. So I really hope if they decide to do a third version revision of X and Y, that's something they beef up, because it was something that really disappointed me coming off of Black and White. Anyway, this cutscene right here. Hold it. What are you guys up to here anyway? Nothing. We're just standing here. So what did we do to you that you're bothering us with questions? You didn't do anything. Not to me, at least. But I can never forgive Pokemon thieves like you. Just to let you know, you're about to feel my rage. Yeesh, trainers sure are unruly these days. Is that it? You're mistaking your Pokemon strength for your own? I couldn't care less about a runt like you, but I don't like being messed with. David, cover me! Of course. You've got some nerve for a little brat. And yes, we are actually fighting Team Plasma right here, and it seems we might actually be getting some answers as to why Hugh just seems so pissed off at them all the time. And honestly, that is a point of contention that a lot of people have with this game. But I really don't, but I'm gonna wait for that to actually get revealed before I discuss it. This thing doesn't have levitate, does it? Okay, no it doesn't. Very good. Man, Lucario is such a boss. I love this thing so much. Ooh, we have a Dino coming in, which is... I don't think it's our first dragon type we've had to fight against, but it's one of the first. Yeah, sure, I'll just keep him with Lucario right here. That's the thing with the dragon type, there's really not much you can do to counter a dragon type unless you have one of your own. That's the annoying thing, pretty much every dragon type learns fire type moves to counter the relatively flimsy ice type. And, of course, dragon is weak against dragon, so it's like a double-edged sword, which is mainly why they introduced the fairy type in X and Y, because there are very, very few counters for dragons, especially in Black and White, because Black and White introduced quite a few dragons that are quite terrifying to be up against. So I'm really glad they tried to nerf them at least a little bit, although I think we might arrive at the point where the fairy types need to be nerfed a little bit because they are quite defensive. Anyway, down goes Scolipede. That might be the first time we've seen a Scolipede, I'm not positive though. And down goes the Team Plasma Grunt. What's the big idea? This Pokemon I stole is useless. If we keep going like this, it'll end up like it did 2 years ago. I'm next. I stole these Pokemon 2 years ago and I've been training them ever since. They're tough. Not to spoil what's about to get revealed in the game, but it's kind of scary when you realize that Team Plasma, in the original Black and White, would ask trainers to release their Pokemon under the guise that the trainers would be doing the right thing were they to do so. And as soon as the wild Pokemon, the now wild Pokemon, were out of sight of their former trainers, Team Plasma would just swoop in and take them, and they would wind up in a worse position than they were in the past. It's kind of a... It adds a bit of a psychological element to Team Plasma that I feel like other villains in the Pokemon games don't actually have. Because they would sort of... They would lie and they would cheat, but they would do it in a way where they would really, really deceive the trainers into giving up lifelong relationships. And they'd have to go through the pain of going through this, I guess, breakup, so to speak. But the trainers would be under the impression that they were doing the right thing, and then Team Plasma, as soon as they were out of earshot, would just swoop in and just take all these Pokemon that used to have such good relationships with their former trainers, and it's just a really scary thing how they would psychologically manipulate all these people into just giving up their Pokemon so easily. It's this odd kind of malice that you don't usually see in the Pokemon series, and in a way it seems almost more evil than trainers trying to steal Pokemon outright. It's just a little bit scary when you think about it. I suppose in that way Team Plasma is one of the scariest villains because they would do psychological manipulation in addition to outright theft. It's just this really cool added bit of depth to Team Plasma that I don't think people really pick up on all that much. And that's why a lot of people really take issue with the plot point that's about to be revealed. Mandibuzz is about to learn Tailwind. I think I'm gonna skip it because Mandibuzz is pretty fast already. Don't let it go to your head, but you put up a good fight, kid. You've got to be kidding. And I bullied them so much over the last 2 years to toughen it up too. We give up. I can't believe we lost to 2 kids. Just because you're strong, I'll tell you this. We, Team Plasma, are searching for something. When we find it, that's when our secret weapon will be able to use its true power. Farewell. "5 years ago, Team Plasma stole my little sister's purloin." See, this is what I'm talking about. Not to break the tension in this obviously very emotional scene, but a lot of people really don't like the fact that Hugh's main motivation to go after Team Plasma is because they took his little sister's cat. But if we think about this, 5 years ago, his little sister was like, what, 4? When you're 4 years old, having a pet just look after and call your own is probably one of the most amazing experiences you can have at that point in your life. And to just have some stranger come in and take it away, like, I don't know if other people feel this way, but that just that hits you where it hurts when you really think about it. It had been given to her as a present. I was only a little kid. I couldn't do anything. So that's why I have to get stronger. Good work. I knew you had good instincts. Well then. Listen up. You fill up that Pokédex. Keep getting stronger and stronger, and back me up. I'll be counting on you from here on out too. And with that very emotional revelation by Hugh about a traumatic experience he had as a child being unable to help his little sister have one of her favorite Pokemon robbed from her in an instant. Next time on Pokemon Blaze Black 2, we will be continuing our adventure through the Unova region. So without further ado, thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys next time.